Hi, I'm Deja. I'm 30. I'm married. I'm a teacher, and I believe that life is a scam. So for the past 3 odd days, I would say I've been in a semi-catatonic state, a rut, in between a rock and a hard place, just trying to figure out how does life make any sense whatsoever. You go to college, you graduate high school, you go to college. You get a career, you get all these things that are symbols of stability, and somehow you're supposed to be happy. And I just don't really believe that it works that way. Starting with career. I've been teaching for 6 years. I took 1 year off. And that was one of the worst years of my life. Within those 12 months, I worked a total of 4 jobs. At one period, I was working 2 jobs at a time. At another brief period, I was working 3 jobs at a time. And I mean, just about the brokest, lowest income year of my life. I think I made about $27,000 between all 4 of the jobs that I worked. And I ended up becoming a sub and becoming a permanent teacher again. So that was a failed attempt at leaving the teaching profession. Don't get me wrong, I'm grateful to have benefits again. I'm grateful to have a salary again, but the profession is still not professioning. I'm at a great school. I love my students, and still I find myself in this cycle of burnout that I just cannot escape. And funny enough, my husband was a teacher. We met when we worked at the same school, and he is no longer in teaching for the burnout cycle that I just mentioned. But his job is a whole thing because it's a lot too. So the entire time that I've taught, I've always had to keep about 2 jobs at least. I always taught and tutored. I always taught and did the after school program. And summers were really no different. There were summers where I had 2 jobs. I tutored and did a summer camp. It was just always about survival. And now I'm 30 and I still feel like I'm trying to survive. And I'm not quite sure what to do about that. I do have aspirations to go back to school, get a master's and licensed mental health counseling. But right now my chief complaint is lack of time. And if I go back to school, I'm going to have even less time. I just feel like it's crushing my spirit to a certain extent. And creatively, I haven't produced much of anything. No shorts, no videos lately. Haven't drawn lately. Haven't even taken pictures lately. I've deleted social media, which I believe is a good thing. But on my down days, I just spend a bunch of time on YouTube watching videos of teachers who have quit. And it's like, oh yeah, I feel affirmed. I feel heard. Like, I get you, sister or brother. But how are you surviving? How are you living? And then half of them end up going back to teaching anyways. So the career is a big dilemma for me. Not having been able to have the ability to travel the world has really been getting to me. I've been in Florida my whole life. My family didn't do a lot of traveling growing up. I know my parents went on a cruise, but as far as taking us kids a lot of places, that just was not something that happened. I've been out of the state one time. That was maybe 7 years ago with my ex and his family. We went to California, I think Nevada, Arizona. Yeah, Las Vegas, Arizona. Drove. Beautiful trip, but that was 7 years ago. So that is another thing that makes me feel like I'm 30, but I'm not living. I haven't experienced life. And to be clear, we don't have any kids. We don't have any kids. We don't have a cat. We don't have a dog. And I have to thank God every day that we don't. Because I can't imagine feeling like this with a baby on my hip right now. That would just be absurd. And I'm grateful for the things that we have. We have a place to live. We have 2 vehicles. We both have full-time jobs and benefits. Don't get me wrong. I'm grateful. And there's a level of contentment that I've been able to keep until recently. And that's where I find myself in this rut. And I just don't know what to do about it. Like, half of me wants to sell everything we own. We don't even own much. And just live on a cruise ship, which my husband absolutely would not like to do. or get a van and convert it and drive across the country on a cross country trip, something of that nature. I just feel like I don't desire to live a conventional life. I just don't. But at the same time, you need money to fund travel. So it's like a circular conversation. Me and my husband have the same conversation. We want more out of life. We want more freedom of our time. We want to be able to make our own schedules and do our own things and follow our passions. Well, that means he would need to go back to school, get his doctorate. I would need to go back to get my master's, and that will mean less time. So this conversation of time versus money is just, it never ends. It never quits. And we are trying really hard to get on the right track financially, which I believe we're starting to make progress in that area. But, traveling costs money. You have to be able to put something in a travel fund. Savings are important. Sorry, the lighting just got really weird. Savings are something that's important, that we don't have an emergency fund. Investing is important. We haven't done that. And so, sorry, I'm trying to find better lighting. And so when I have people in my life that ask me about why we don't have kids yet, I'm like almost so offended. People that know like the intricate details of my life, like we've exchanged, conversations about, oh man, I wish I could do this, but we're not in a place to do that. Or, oh, I wish I could travel more, but oh, I'm also not in a place to do that. Like, I get where you come from. We've had conversations like that, and then you turn around and ask me why me and my husband don't have kids. Can you imagine purposely planning a child and you're not financially stable? How's that appealing? How's that fair to us or the kid? I just don't understand that. It's offensive and it should be illegal. I don't get that. When older people ask, I give them a pass. Like, I have some aunts that are 60, 70. Like, when y'all gonna have some kids while I'm still alive? Okay, I get that. They come from a different generation, all that stuff. But if you're my age and you know what's going on in my life, please don't ask me about no kids. A criminal offensive side eye.